Thank you for your various comments about particularly about the Trump assassination attempt. Dan Kirk says, "Great, Trump didn't need a legitimate excuse to build a martyrdom complex. Now his cultists will see him as some sort of genuine messiah. Some undecided voters may see Trump's gestures as a sign of strength, and there'll be whole news cycles dedicated to the left-wing cabal trying to murder the president. Troubling times lie ahead." And Peter says, morning, Tim. Love your comments on the Trump shooting. You didn't say anything about the lack of firearm training Americans get. At that distance, how did he miss? Honestly, it's an easy shot. I must say, that fact alone is going to encourage the conspiracy theorists who are already out in force, suggesting that this was a trick to give Trump the sympathy vote, and I don't think it's a trick at all. How can it possibly be a trick when somebody else has been seriously wounded? There are even reports of somebody else having been killed, and the shooter himself has been killed. I don't think anybody would participate in such a ruse at such high stakes, and it's sort of nonsense to go down that direction. Whether you like him or whether you don't like him, this shooting goes a long way. As Planetary Citizen says, this will ensure he will be elected as the next president. I think that is that is now significantly more likely, and Biden's response to this has been too slow off the mark. At this point here, it should not be about a partisan election response. It should be about the security of the nation and about concern for individuals and for an elderly man who's been attacked in a life-threatening situation by a gun. I think Biden should have been reaching out. He should have been on national media last night, and he hasn't. I know he's going to speak about it, but already the time to seize that initiative has gone. He's now playing catch up. And in terms of the election, this, I think, is a make or break situation, and I suspect it's a make. Them's the breaks, as Boris Johnson said. And Trump has been handed at a significant price, a considerable advantage. Jimmy also says it's pretty much guaranteed a Trump victory. Much of the conservative conversation is aimed at left-wing media for calling Trump Hitler and a threat to democracy. However, that ignores what he says on a daily basis, and likely at that rally. People are terrified of Trump getting in, and unfortunately someone tried to take it into their own hands, which never works. Now conservatives are terrified of Biden getting in and can control the narrative because of this. Bad times. Thank you for all your comments. They're so much appreciated, and it's really the only reason that I do this is for variety of comments and to try and stimulate the debate. And other than that, the occasional music hall flourish and entertainment at the expense of mostly British politicians who I think are faintly risible. But it's the access to guns, the access to serious weapons. We are not immune in Britain from this. The crossbow incident the other day is a good example of a very lax regime that allows the sale, and the very quick sale, of seriously dangerous weaponry. But in a culture informed by machismo, by posturing, and by this this sort of energized hatred, this sort of event, I'm in many ways I'm surprised that this sort of event is so rare. But it also highlights the incompetence of the security forces and the casualness of Trump's entourage. Sorry, Day.